My name is Mrs Mpumalanga Charity 2020. Now, I did send out a post for a Q&A and I got a really good response. Such a good response that I'm going to be making this into 2 or 3 series. And today I'm practically just me talking about pageantry. So I got a list of questions that I got from you guys, and I've also added a few of my own that I normally do get from people. So the first question was, why did I enter Mrs Mpumalanga? So I entered Mrs Mpumalanga because it's a nice platform. It's a platform where I can work with people. It's a platform where I can get to push whatever I'm pushing. So if I have a goal, if I have a charity, or if I have an organization that I'm supporting, it's best to do it that way, where I already have a given platform where I work with business people and I do have that exposure to get my hands dirty and do what I have to do. Mrs Mpumalanga stands for empowerment, it stands for motivation, it stands for charity, community, and giving back. So Mrs Mpumalanga is totally different from other pageants. Reason being, it is not a beauty pageant. They work with ambassadors, so we're practically ambassadors for our province. We work with a lot of people. We work with community organizations, we work with charities, and there's a lot that actually goes in behind the scenes that normally people don't actually see, like the fundraising, the acquiring of sponsors, and they only see the end product. So the end product being us being on stage and just walking around and you're parading, and people think, oh wow, this is so amazing. It's actually a whole lot of work, and you don't just wake up one morning and go, I'm going to enter a pageant. There's a whole lot of thinking process that goes into it. Like something must have happened to you that actually changes your whole viewpoint on how you think and how you see things. And sometimes you hear someone's story and it really pushes you and motivates you so much that you also want to give back. My reason for entering Mrs Mpumalanga is because I wanted to make a difference, but then also I realized that life is too short for me to not go for what I want. And I didn't want to be sitting one day thinking, damn, I should have done that, and I should have done that, and I should have done that. And that's why I want to empower and I want to impact, and actually even also ask, if you also want to enter a pageant, do it, but then do it for the right reasons also. Don't do it for the reason of just being seen, and don't only do it for the reason of because your friend did it and she made a success out of it and now you also want to do the same thing. Do it because you are purpose driven and you're goal driven, or it's a good move for your business, or you actually do want to give back and you do want to acquire sponsors and you do want to help your community, then do it. But if you're going to do it, just know that a number of sleepless nights, you're gonna be tired, you're gonna get cranky. There are gonna be times where you feel, yo, what am I doing? My goodness. And there are gonna be days where you wake up and you're like, yes, let's take over the world and let's do this. And there's just gonna be other days where you just wanna lay in bed and cry because you feel like you're not doing enough, and you've been sending out a whole number of emails and you haven't gotten any response back. Trust me, in the end, it's worth it. It's completely worth it. If I did enter another pageant, will I do a few things differently? Yes, definitely. I would do a few things differently. I would start off with my targets from day one. I would start acquiring sponsors from day one, and I'd send out more emails. I'd have templates, because I didn't even have templates of emails to send. Like, I literally had to type out every single email and execute it that way. Actually managed to land one of my biggest and most helpful sponsors in my journey of campaigning as a finalist last year, which is Crossing Super Spa. They've been amazing, from the parcels, food parcels for the needy, toiletries for girls. I mean, they helped with my events. I mean, I had three events and they helped with all of them. They covered everything from food to glasses to salads. They really helped a great deal. And I honestly feel so blessed because I acquired the sponsor through using an email. But that's also another thing I want to discuss. When you do enter a pageant, especially a pageant that has to do with a lot of marketing and upliftment and motivation, don't just think I'm pretty, so yeah, people will just throw money at me. No, it doesn't work that way. You have to put in the work, and that is something that I knew from get-go. I wasn't always this, I wasn't a girly girl. I mean, growing up, I was a tomboy. You can even see what I'm wearing today. I'm not, and I was never this, with heels and pretty dresses and skirts and stuff. But gradually, growing up, you learn to pick up a few things. You get to be feminine and so forth. But what I learned entering Mrs. Mpumalanga is that you have to stay true to yourself. Do not try to be somebody you're not. And also make sure that your message is what you believe in and it's what you stand for. Don't have a message that you got from someone else and now you're trying to execute it as yourself. It is going to fail. It's going to be an epic fail because it's not something you believe in. It's not something you stand for. Later on, you are going to crumble because it's not originally yours. And if something is not yours and if something is not something you believe in, you tend to not really work as hard on it because it's not your idea, first of all, and second of all, you might not probably really understand why this idea is so important and why this thing is so important. So make sure you always stay true to yourself and true to your roots also. Don't now enter the pageant, now you're all of a sudden buying expensive clothes, now you're doing a whole lot of things that is definitely not you, because it comes to an end, with the campaigning and everything, and you lose yourself in a process. Entering a pageant or doing anything practically to give back is to enrich your life, is to make you a better person. It's to help you grow spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally also, because you get to care a lot and you get to meet a lot of people. So you get to converse with a lot of influential people. So if you stay true to yourself, you as a person, you grow. But if you're gonna hit curves and change here and there and try to be somebody else and try to explore with different personalities probably even, and try to maybe even tap into something that you're actually not, that's not originally you end up losing yourself, and at the end of it you might even hit depression because you've lost so much of yourself. You don't even know who you are anymore, and it takes so much out of you to actually get back to being yourself. But what I love about Mrs. Mpumalanga is the fact that you get to give back, the fact that you are community orientated. You get to work with a lot of influential people, and you get to meet a lot of people also, and also the platform they give you is amazing for business, for self-discovery, self-growth, and they challenge you also because you get put into a situation where you have to now raise funds, you have to acquire sponsors, you have to market yourself. And us being women, we tend to sell ourselves short. I mean, you're going to work every day, you get into this routine of work, come home, cook, chores, kids, husband, friends, and you're trying to keep everybody happy and you forget about yourself. So the whole backstory of Mrs. Mpumalanga is empowering women and women empowering each other, but also uplifting their community and giving back, and also being this beautiful, sassy, sensual, smart woman that you are, and you get to express that with this platform. You get to let women, normal, average, everyday women, that they're moms, they're wives, they're sometimes even students, and you get to hear different stories from, this is where I lost my confidence, and I don't want to do this because it's too challenging and I don't have time. And a lot of women out there, they have given so much that they don't actually focus on themselves. So with Mrs. Mpumalanga, you get to focus on just gracefully being you, being beautiful, being sensual, being smart, but also being that caring and natural, loving woman that you are. Just because you are working your 9 to 5, or you're studying also while working your 9 to 5, and you have kids, or you don't have kids and you're married, and you kind of feel like life has become more of a routine, Mrs. Mpumalanga actually gives you that challenge of doing more, of giving back, and actually doing a self-introspection of who am I really? And what do I stand for? What do I believe in? What are my values? What are my morals? What do I have to say? When I got into this journey, I was not the type of person to go and send out a whole lot of emails and meet different people and stuff like that. It was literally just going to work, coming back home, and trying to be the best person I can be without really grabbing anyone's attention. But when I entered Mrs. Mpumalanga, I mean, after getting the sash, it was a whole different switch. I mean, it went from 0 to 300 in a split second. I was all of a sudden now recognized as an influential person. People wanted to hear what I have to say, and also it keeps you on a, I wouldn't say a straight and narrow, but it helps you voice out your opinions. So if you're opinionated and you love a challenge, this platform is definitely for you. I specifically didn't know I would grow so much with this journey, and I have. It's been a roller coaster, trust me, but it's been a wonderful roller coaster where I got to discover what my breaking point is. I got to be able to say no to things that I don't believe in personally. I got to a point where even when everybody else was doing this specific thing, and just because my peers are doing this specific thing, now I also have to be categorized and boxed into that specific thing. I got that opportunity to be like, no, because I know what I stand for, I know who I am, and I'm confident within myself. I will definitely say this really did up my confidence. I'm a very confident person, but being in Mrs. Mpumalanga really, really pushed me to be this. I know who I want to be, and I know what I want to do. I may not be getting there yet, but this whole experience has definitely changed my whole outlook on life. It's changed my thinking process. I think more positive now, and whenever I look at somebody, I don't just look at the outside. I don't just look at the exterior. I wonder, and I sometimes ask myself, and I even ask the person, so what are your thoughts on this, and what are your dreams? So I get to interact with a lot of people now, and I also get to share and speak my mind. I get to share my story and speak my mind also as to why everybody should always be positive. I really believe in positivity, because I mean, when I entered Mrs. Mpumalanga last year, there was a whole lot of negativity going on in my life, from a point where I didn't even know if I wanted to still go to work. I didn't know if I still even wanted to do what I'm doing. You know, I just felt like I was living the same day over and over and over again. Even weekends were the same. And sometimes when something traumatic happens in your life, you go, oh, wow, this could be the end of it. But when that happened to me, after the whole robbery, I just thought, you know what? This is my time to actually do what I've always wanted to do. I'm going to challenge myself. I'm going to put in that extra work. I'm going to focus on my goals, and I am going to build other people while focusing on my goals as well. After doing this whole extravaganza, if I may call it that way, I want to do a whole lot of challenges now. I mean, I've never really thought about pageants before entering this one, and I'm thinking about maybe doing another one, or maybe 2 more, and see where that goes. I mean, this platform is amazing. Now I'm thinking about challenging myself even more, like going bungee jumping, maybe even becoming a speaker, starting my own brand. I'm thinking about a lot of things, and these are things I didn't think about last year. I mean, we're in May now. it was around the time I entered. It was around the time I sent in my application. And then I think I was going to be shortlisted. I was like 50-50. I was so nervous. I was very nervous. And I remember getting that email from management, and they said, okay, you've been shortlisted, and we would like to invite you for an interview. I was like, oh, okay. And mind you, I hadn't been for an interview in a long time, and I didn't know what kind of questions they were going to ask. So me being who I am, I went onto YouTube, I went onto Google, and I was busy Googling what kind of questions do they ask and stuff like that. And I got so worked up because this is something, and this is where I noticed that this is something that is very important to me. This is something I wanted to do, and I got so worked up and I was stressed. And I even remember on my interview day, I didn't know what to wear. I literally threw out everything out my closet. Even the clothes I picked to wear the night before, that morning when I put them on, they just didn't look right. I mean, I wanted to look, I wanted to look on par, like 100% good, and I didn't know what to wear. And luckily, my husband, being who he is, he came to the rescue and he picked up my outfit. He's like, if you're wearing these pants, you're wearing this shirt, you're putting this jacket on, now you can just decide on your shoes. So driving on our way to now my interview, which was at about 12 on this Saturday, I had 3 pairs of shoes in the car. 3 different pairs of black heels that I didn't know if I'm gonna wear either one. And I was like, maybe I should go in barefoot, because I mean, I can't even walk in the one. I couldn't even walk in the one pair. This is my longest, it was my highest pair, but I couldn't walk in the one. And the other one was like shortish, and the other one, it kind of hurt my feet, but it looked really nice with the outfit. So I decided to then go for that one. And going in there, what I experienced was not what I expected. It was honestly an amazing feeling to just sit there in front of the judges and just completely be myself and tell them who I am, what I intend to do, and why I even want to be shortlisted and actually be a finalist. So long story short, I became a finalist, and it came with its own challenges, because now walking around, even visiting Spa or Pick and Pay, I'd wear my sash, because you never know where your sponsor comes from. You don't know. The manager there could be your sponsor. I mean, one of the shoppers, one of their clients could be your sponsor. So I'd wear my sash every single opportunity I got. And even when we went to Joburg for like Abby's birthday, I was even wearing my sash. I was traveling around with it in the hotel. I was everywhere with the sash. And doing something as simple as grocery shopping would take about an hour and a half, because everybody stops you and they're asking, oh wow, so you went to pageants, you're a model, oh, you're doing this, and every time I'd have to explain, we're not models, because I'm not a model, I'm not a qualified model. I mean, I've never done any modeling work whatsoever. But a lot of people would then, you'd grab a lot of people's attention, and people will now all of a sudden want to know who you are, what you stand for, what you're doing, and can I enter? What does it take to enter the pageant? Now you have to be explaining, okay? So you have to be of a certain age, you have to be married, with or without kids, and it just, the conversation just flows. So people then come to you, and also when you're busy marketing yourself, you have to also acquire votes. So I must say it was an extraordinary experience. Would I do it again? Yes! Definitely do it again. But I think I need about a year after my reign just to, work on the projects behind the scenes that I am busy with right now. We got to establish our own self-defense academy, and it got quite some hype in the beginning, because a lot of women and children, actually, they do want to do it. But now with COVID-19, it's very difficult, really, really difficult. But come in lockdown, we'll be on fire. We're definitely doing this, and I love how people are so motivated and how people are so encouraging with it. You know, with self-defense, it's a whole different level of discipline, because now you get taught skills that help you get out of sticky situations. Honor and self-respect, actually, to know when to use the skills you have. We don't know how long it's actually going to take for the self-defense to catch on. Are we ready for the challenge? Yes, we are ready for the challenge. I don't think you can ever be ready, but you can be ready enough. And are we looking forward to lockdown ending so we can continue with everything that we have started? Yes, we definitely are. I mean, all the queens can definitely agree with me. We have had to postpone and cancel a lot of charity work, a whole lot of appearances, events, fundraisings, and it's for a good, you know, what we're doing is for a good cause. But because of lockdown, we have to respect, you know, the implementations that have been set by our government. We have to oblige by those rules that they have set. And are we happy? Me specifically, no, I'm not happy, because I can't really do anything right now. I can motivate, like right here behind my camera, I can definitely motivate, but I wish I could get out there and do more, get all hands on, and just get in there, you know.